Hi, this is Joe from Family Content site. In this video, I want to provide an answer on the question which I have seen. What's the difference between a cabin style and a dome style family tent? So, in short, these differences, the most important, at least in my view, are the following four: inner volume and headroom, then comfort and livability, protection and area. If you have ever been in a official camping site, you have seen probably many cabin style tents. They are easily recognizable because you always have boxy tall structures with straight walls, sometimes completely vertical, great windows and so on. So here is one example, Cedar Ridge Ironwood 2-room tent. I put it in particular because of its height, which is 224 centimeters. So you have stand-up height almost everywhere in this tent, and as you see, it has windows around, partial coverage fly, and it is freestanding. This is yet another feature of these tents that you will frequently notice. This means that you can move this tent shorter distances even when the fly is on, and you can rotate it as well. Other features include, for example, good ventilation quite frequently and ease of access. Regarding ventilation, you have here this tent from Core. This is what they call 2-room 12-person instant cabin tent with side entrance. You have many doors around, windows, and all these openings are with mesh and with panels. So as long as the sky is clear, you can keep them with mesh and have as much ventilation as you want. But of course, when you have rain, you have to close all these things, and then it's important to have floor vents. At least, usually this is enough, because with such partial coverage fly, you don't need actually roof vents, because the fly doesn't go all the way down. And because of such steep walls, you have also great doors. As you see here, you have two of them, and this one is double with the inverted T-shaped zipper. Regarding dome style tents, well, the term dome actually is not, strictly speaking, is not correct, because dome style tents are usually at the base rectangular, sometimes square, but what gives the name dome style are simply the poles, and usually you have two of them. Sometimes there is one extra or more added, and this canopy is actually more or less dome shaped. Of course, there are dome style tents that are hexagon in base, sometimes octagon, and those are much closer to a real dome structure. In any case, these tents, the main features of these tents are that they are usually very stable, they are easy to use, they are compact for transportation, and most of them have a single room. Also, many of them are in the group of lightweight tents, and actually the lightest backpacking tents are usually of this type. Now, to say a few more words about the main differences between those two. As I said, one of them is inner volume and headroom. This is easy to understand because in a cabin style tent you have straight, steep walls, sometimes completely vertical, so you have far more volume inside. And this is related to the other feature that I pointed out, the difference, the comfort and livability. When you have so much comfort, headroom, you feel almost like home. You have pleasant windows around, easy access through vertical doors, and so on. Regarding protection and usage, I would say that cabin-style tents are inferior to dome-style tents in most cases, because those are tents boxy in structure, not very much suitable for places with strong wind. Then most of them are with a partial coverage fly, like this tent here. So you have many windows around, and in windy places you wouldn't want to camp in such a tent. You would rather want something like this. But of course there are exceptions. I have my own Snow Peak Alpha Breeze tent, which you see here in my camp in Livigno in the Italian Alps. When it is under the fly, it gives impression of a dome-style tent, but actually it is not a dome-style tent. It's completely unique, it's best to say. But if you would want to put it in a particular group, then it is closer to cabin-style tents than to dome-style tents. But as you see, it has full coverage fly. Regarding area, dome-style tents are typically built up to the size of 6 and 8 person tents. You have them, of course, as solo, then tents for 2 or 3, 4 people, and so on. Cabin-style tents can be much larger in terms of formal capacity. So, for example, the examples that I showed here, this one is for 12 people. But it's fair to say that this capacity is frequently determined only by the number of sleeping pads that you can put on the floor. So indeed you can put 12 sleeping pads here, or 8 sleeping pads here in this set of ridge tent, but you don't have any extra space for storage. So with these tents, although they are indeed physically bigger than dome-style tents typically, and also bigger regarding the official capacity, it is always best to downgrade the real capacity by half. So if it is 12 person tent like this, I would say use it for 6 people maximum. So in the case of dome-style tents, many of them offer vestibules, like in this tent here. So you have some space to store your gear. Of course, even here you have the inner area determined by the number of sleeping pads on the floor. That's usually so, and this is called backpacking principle. For the tents that are on the EU area, most of them, I would say, are tunnel type, sometimes a cabin, but dome-style tents are less frequent. And in this area in Europe, tents are much bigger, and if you have 6 person tent tunnel type, then you can be sure that it can actually accommodate 12 people if necessary. Why this is so? Because they usually have inner tent for 6 people, but there is also a living room which is fully protected, where you can have at least the same number of people. So this is all I wanted to say about this topic. It's easy to recognize which is which when you speak about dome-style tents and cabin-style tents. There are important differences, as I mentioned here. So I suggest that you follow the link below this video and come here and read this text in detail and follow some links from here. And I shall appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.